go here and there like, bad people. Oh, I need coffee now. Like 5 o'clock in the morning, they should have coffee cup in their hand. So the problem they have is because they are so much depend on coffee. So in the same example, we can take like, suppose I like sweets and I take pleasure eating sweets. But it doesn't mean that I should, if I don't get sweets, so then I will die or maybe I will have a headache. No, we should not get attachment with the sweets or anything we do, any activity we do, any relations we have. We should not get attachment with all these things. But when we have seen that when person he is in Krishna consciousness, what he does, he does chanting all the time. He get attachment with chanting. He get attachment with Krishna's activities. So that is good thing. That is not bad. That is not material activity because we are doing for Krishna. We are doing, it's a spiritual activity. So when we are doing chanting and we want to do more chanting or we want to depend on Krishna more, that is good thing for us. We should be satisfied in that thing when we are working for Krishna, but not for material things. We have seen that, when a person is fully engaged in service of Krishna, he is pleased in himself. He feel happiness, and that happiness actually is not a temporary happiness. It's a permanent happiness. But other things we do in our material life, they are all temporary. They just do it, like we get the happiness, but only for few minutes. So we can see that in this material world, or like our example, like we are all self-centered. Self-centered means like we just want to do what we want to do. Like like some people, like I will take example of myself. I go to work, get some money, and then I feel happy. Okay. Or similarly, the other people, they just go to work, they get some money, they enjoy. Like if at you on your work as well, on your colleagues, what they do actually, they just get the money, and on Thursdays they get the salary, and on Friday they are finished. Like all the bills are paid, whatever they have to do, and on Monday they are asking other people, can I borrow some money? The people, they what they do, they whatever they have, they just finish it. No savings, no nothing. And when you tell them about some Krishna consciousness, they make fun of you, and like it's very, they don't take interest in any other activity. They just want to get some money. They want to enjoy having nice food, having nice coffee. That's it, done. They're thinking that their life is only to eat and sleep and mating. That's it, nothing else. But when we tell them about the Krishna consciousness, they have no interest. They don't take any interest. That is very actually, which is very amazing thing. Like once Yamraj, he asked Yudhishthira Maharaj a question. He said, what is astonishing thing, or what is an amazing thing you think in this material world or in this world? Then Yudhishthira Maharaj said that, I am looking that, everyone knows that we have to die one day, and everyone is dying. People are dying every day, like in the relationships or in the family members. Everyone has to go one day, but everyone thinks that I am going to stay all the time, but I will alive all the time. So this is very astonishing, he said. This is very amazing thing for him. So, but what we should do actually, how we can see that how a person is self-centered. We can take one more example. Like imagine if someone is working into a stressful job. He go to work, he is stressful. But if they are working only for the praise, like if I will do a good work, my boss will say, oh, you have done a very good job. Or if I will get a promotion, people, they do work for promotion, or mostly people, they work for recognition. And because we are so much attached to all these things. So, and this example, when I was reading, this example is actually for all of us. When we do little bit seva here and there, what we want our name to be listed or to be announced in the program, so that many people will praise for us. That is our, like we are so attached with all these things. But when I was reading this one, so I thought, oh, slowly, we should try to detach ourselves from all these, because only these are many tiny things, but it matters. It matters if we want to do some progress in our devotion service. It matters. So we have to start, like try to detach from all these small things. And if we work, with we are doing very good job and without any anxiety, and if there is good outcome is coming, and we are practicing bhakti as well in our daily life, then what we should do, we should offer that results to Krishna, and also we should detach from that results. And if the people they do like that, then they becomes what they call the yogis, or we can say they are elevated souls. So this verse actually it teaches us that the real yoga begins when our mind stops being pulled into 100 directions. What that mean? Like, you're just doing your job, and then you don't worry about the results. Like, if you have done something, then don't worry. That's it, finish. Your work is done. Everything should be as you do as a service to Krishna. That should be the goal of our life. It is said that the real yoga begins when attachment ends. When we have no attachment with anything, and then our inner discipline, it begins. When inner discipline begins, and then we will get detachment from all other things. So now we will see, what Krishna is saying into the next verse. Udha, I will just share next verse, number 5. Udharet atman atmanam anatman avasaya dev atme bhi atmano bandhu atme vripur atmana. So is word to word. Udharet, one must deliver. Atmana, by the mind. Atmanam, the conditioned soul. Na, never. Atmanam, the conditioned soul. Avasadet, put into degradation. Atma, mind. Eva, certainly. He, indeed. Atmana, of the conditioned soul. Bandhu, friend. Atma, mind. Eva, certainly. Ripu, enemy. Atmana, of the conditioned soul. Translation: one must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. Purport. The word Atma denotes body, mind, and soul, depending upon different circumstances. In the yoga system, the mind and the conditioned soul are especially important. Since the mind is the central point of the yoga practice, Atma refers here to the mind. The purpose of the yoga system is to control the mind and to draw it away from attachment to sense objects. It is stressed herein that the mind must be so trained that it can deliver the conditioned soul from the mire of nescience. In material existence, one is subjected to the influence of the mind and the senses. In fact, the pure soul is entangled in the material world because the mind is involved with the false ego, which in the material world becomes the which desires to the Lord it over material nature. Therefore, the mind should be trained so that it will not be attracted by the glitter of material nature. And in this way, the conditioned soul may be saved. One should not degrade oneself by attraction of sense objects. The more one is attracted by sense objects, the more one becomes entangled in material existence. The best way to disentangle oneself is to always engage the mind into Krishna consciousness. The word high is used for emphasizing this point, that is, the one must do this. It is also said, Mana eva manusyam karanam bandha mokshaya bandha bandheya vishya sango muktyayi nirvishyam mana. For man, mind is the cause of bondage and mind is the cause of liberation. Mind observed in sense object is the cause of bondage, and mind detached from the sense object is the cause of liberation. Therefore, the mind which is always engaged in Krishna consciousness is the cause of supreme liberation. So if we see verse number 6.5 and 6.6, I will read 6.6 as well because they both are interrelated. So I will just share 6 as well. Bandhu atmanatmanattasya yenat atman atmanajita अनात्मनस्तु शत्रुवे वर्तेत आत्मेव शत्रुवत्. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. So actually, verse number 6.5, 6.6, 6.7, they are all similar. Like, the gist is same. Like they are talking about the mind, that how you can control your mind. We will read the purport later. We will just do now 6.5. So in 6.5 and 6.6, both are same. Topic is same, that how you can control our mind, and also it is said that mind is our friend, and mind is our worst enemy as well. He is our best friend, and he is our worst enemy as well. So what that means, like, he's our friend as well, and he's our enemy as well. What that means? It means the mind has two sides. One side is called constructive side, where he is our friend, and one is destructive side, where he is our enemy. What is constructive side means now? Constructive side means minds tell us that, how we can make discipline in our life, or how we can show compassion to others, or how we can uh, do clarity in things, how we can become confidence, how we can have we can say that how we can think positive about other people. And destructive side means it will give you the negative thoughts, always negative thoughts. We will always angry, we will be always lazy, we have always doubt on other people, and we will just overthink always, all the time we will just overthink. So mind has two parts, one is destructive and one is constructive. So now it's our choice where we want to go. Krishna has given us the ability. So we have to choose the side now, which side we want to feed to our mind. So we can take one example, like, suppose I have to get up early in the morning. So one side of my mind says, okay, get up now, do some prayers, take a bath, or exercise, build your life, whatever the mind says. And the other side mind says, okay, sleep more, skip it, don't do any prayers today, or who cares, So now we have to think which side you have to obey. It happens actually. I was just thinking, like, if I have a work early morning, like I start my work 5 o'clock. So if I have to go early morning at my work, I wake up on time. I just go take shower, go to work on time every time. And whenever I have a day off, on that day, I always say, okay, maybe more half an hour, maybe 1 hour extra. Today is day off. So we can relate all this to our daily routine things. And I was thinking it's true actually. One side is constructive and one side is destructive. We can see, like, we can imagine, like, what things we are doing in our life, day-to-day life. We can relate all these things. So one of the we can take another example, like, suppose there is a student and he is preparing for exam. So one part of the mind say, okay, study now, get up and study now. And other part say, okay, it's all right, don't worry, watch TV or watch YouTube. So what we have to do now, we have to discipline our mind. So, but if it's a disciplined student, what he is going to do, he will say, okay, no, I have to get up, I have to study because I have to get marks, I have to pass the exam. So what happens, these like we have to choose all these what they call those short-term things. So if we choose a short-term thing, it will give us a long-term pleasure. Like if suppose I have an exam and I get up early in the morning and study, so but it's for my benefit because it will give me long pleasure. Like in my future, I will be a good person. So we can't ignore all these things, whichever voice we heard, in the like they say the voice comes from your heart, whatever you want to do. So what we have to do, we have to hear the voice. We have to hear the voice because Krishna, he is sitting in our heart in the form of Paramatma. So this topic is very, very important, that mind. So mind, it is said that, we have in one day, we have I think 80 to 90 thousand of thoughts comes in one day. So if you take 6 or 8 hours sleep out from that one, so it means every second we have at least one thought. And we are carrying, actually it is said that we are carrying our mind, and they are saying that the mind is your friend and mind is your enemy. Imagine if you are carrying your enemy with you all the time. Like, suppose I will put you in a one room, and you have your enemy there. So what you're going to do with your enemy? How you can stay with your enemy in one room? You can't stay. But imagine we are carrying our mind, which is our enemy, and we are carrying it everywhere. Wherever we go, we can't leave the mind at home and go to work, can we? No. So we are carrying our mind everywhere, and that is very strange. Like, we can't stay with our enemy, but we are carrying the mind, which is our enemy. So what is the how we can now slowly we see that how we can control our mind, how we can make a mind our friend all the time. So there was a pastime of Kalidas. There was a poet, Kalidas, and he used to write down the poems. Maybe you have heard about it. So once, the king, he called him and he said, okay, I want you to speak, tell me the 10 things which are starting with M, the word ma, and which are always flickering or which are always unsteady. So Kalidas, without, now we will be also thinking what are the things, starting with M. So at the same time, within a second, Kalidas, he just answered. He said, Ma mano madhuko megho, madhyapo mattakano marut, madhyo markato matsyo, mahakara dasa chanchala. So he said, first is Ma is not mother, Ma is money. So he said all these, he mentioned actually 10 things, and he said all these 10 things are always flickering. So first is Ma is money. Now money is always flickering, imagine if you have $10 note, and then you give that $10 note to in the Coles to buy something, and that $10 note comes back to go to someone else, and then again it goes to bank. From bank, someone else withdraw it. So the money again going everywhere, and then maybe sometime the same money can come back to you. So money is always flickering. It's not the same money. It will go, you will always keep the same money. No, always you will get the different money. So second thing he said, mind. Mano, mind. So mind means, all mind. So mind is always flickering, always going here and there. We will hear about mind more. Next one he said, madhkaro, madhko. Madhkaro. Madhkaro means honeybee. Honeybee, you have seen that it goes from one flower to another flower. It never stays on one flower. He's never satisfied sitting on a one flower. Always flickering here and there. Then next one is Megho. Megho means clouds. Clouds are always flickering. You have never seen the same cloud is coming to you. No, it will just go here and there. Sometimes if it's raining here, you can see that same cloud goes to different direction. So Megho is also, clouds are always flickering. And another one is Madhipo. Madhipo means the person who drinks, like the wine person or drunken person. So what he does, when there was a joke on this one, there was a boy. He said to his mom that mom, that gravity, it works only at night time. So the mom was the physics teacher, and she said, no, gravity is always constant. What you're talking about? He said, no, no, because I have seen Papa, when he goes to office in the morning, he goes straight. But when he's coming back, he's always dancing. So he always comes home drinking. So, it was only a joke. And the next one is matkuno. Matkuno means bed bugs. The bed bugs, when I haven't seen it, but I have heard it about that one. So they say that the bed bugs, they always come at night time. When it's dark, they always comes. So, and they are always flickering. And Marut means wind. You can't catch the wind. Wind is always flickering. And then another one is Mercato. Mercato means monkey. Monkey, what he does, he just go from one branch to another branch or one tree to another tree. He never stays at one place. And next one is Matsyo. Matsyo means fish. Fish is also flickering all the time. You can't, whenever you have seen in the ocean or in the rivers, the fish, they just go from one place to another place. They're just moving around. They don't stay at one place. So we can see that all these things, yeah, they are always flickering. They are always on. But now from our mind, we are talking about mind. So what we do actually with our mind, we just take what they call the quick decisions. We just take quick decisions. Okay, I have to do this and always most of the time we just take the wrong decisions, or always we have wrong perception about mind. So like I can take one example, like suppose you're in temple, and you see someone comes to the temple and he doesn't pay obeisances, and straight away in your mind you will be thinking, oh, that person hasn't done the right thing. He hasn't done the obeisances to Srila Prabhupada or to the deities. But later on, maybe you will find out, maybe that person has a spine problem. He can't do obeisances. But at the same time, what happens in our mind, we just make a perception that, oh, no, he is wrong. Most of the time what we do actually, we always think bad about other people. We always make wrong perception about other people. So we don't want to come out from our comfort zone. What we want to think, we just think that one. We can take one more example. So suppose, imagine, suppose there is an elephant. An elephant, is a baby elephant, and you have tied that elephant to a what they call the bamboo. So you have tied it, and then you have given him grass to eat. All the time he is standing there all the time. And now what happened? That baby elephant has grown up, but he doesn't want to leave his comfort zone. You are just giving him food there, and if you ask him, come out, he will say no. Why? Because he is in his comfort zone. But again, he is only tied with a bamboo, and he can, pluck the big trees, or anything he can do, whatever he wants to do. But because of his comfort zone, similarly, as human beings, we are also in our comfort zone. We don't want to do the changes into our life. We can take more examples, like from scriptures. We have seen what's the name of mantra. Actually, what happened with Mantra in Ramayana? Mantra, when she gave the news to Kekai that Ram is going to become a king, Kekai was very happy. She was very happy. And what she did, she gave her golden necklace to Mantra. And but what happened? Mantra has a polluted mind. She had her, I will say, disturbed mind. And what happened? She gave the negative thoughts to Kekai. And because of that negative thoughts, what happened? Ram, he has to go to exile with Mata Sita and Lakshmana. So we can see that, in 1 minute, the mind can give you great havoc. Like give you so many problems. Similarly, in Mahabharata, we can see, take the example of Shakuni. What happened to Shakuni and Duryodhan? What happened with Duryodhan now? Duryodhan, he has everything we can think of. Like, he had a whatever we aspire today, like we want good life, he has good life. Good wife, nice clothes he has a nice palace to live, he has so many servants, he has whatever he wants to eat, he can order same timings, he has so many queens. So life was going smooth, but only he had only one problem. What was the problem? He has uncontrolled mind. He could not control his own mind. That's why same problem was with what's his name, Ravana. Similar, same. Whatever the Duryodhan had, same thing Ravan had, but he had uncontrolled mind. So mind is just like they say it's just like a computer. Like if you have a computer, what happens if one virus comes? You can't start your computer. You can't work on computer. Similarly, in our mind, if something comes up, what happens? Our behavior change. We change in seconds, and our thought process change about other people, and our thought process also change, and our mind does not work at that time. So what happens at that time? All the negative all the negative thoughts comes at that time. So what we should do now, we can take one more example, like, take suppose, sometimes what happens, negative thoughts come, sometimes positive thoughts comes. So we can take example of a train. Suppose there is a train, and you are in a train, and what happens, maybe you have aware of this example, because when we go into a train, then suddenly, sometimes, um what they call, the wind comes, and you can smell nice fragrance, and sometimes there is a bad smell comes. So what that mean, sometimes what happens, um, we can feel that, oh, something is burning outside, we can get the bad smell. And sometimes, or maybe the train is passing through to a factory where the nice things, or maybe, suppose, agarbattis are, they are making agarbatti, so nice fragrance is coming. So what happens similarly, our mind is just like a vehicle. Sometimes what happens, the good karmic thoughts comes, and sometimes we had bad karmic thoughts. So what we should do now, we should, now the question comes that how we can purify our mind, how we can control our mind. So firstly, in Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned, we all know about this verse, Chanchala hi mana Krishna paramathi bal dridadam Tasyam nigrayam manne vayurivsu dushkaram. So Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita that mind is restless, it's turbulent and obstinate. So, and mind is very strong. So Krishna has said that you can't control your mind. He said it is very difficult to control your mind. So now, how we can think, how we can purify our mind. So I will take one more example. There was a lady, and then, I'm just saying that, this example, because this is a good example for all of us. Once a lady, she came to the doctor, and she told the doctor that, I went to swimming, and then, what happened, I swallowed some frogs, and they are still alive into my stomach. And then doctor said, "Oh, it can't be happen like that." She said, "No, no, I'm sure. I'm sure, and it happened because I went for a swimming and I swallowed some frogs." So doctor said, "Okay." She said, "Now you have to check me." And the doctor said, "Okay." To convince her, doctor started to check her, and then he said, "Yeah, we have to do we have to do some surgery." And she said, "Okay, yeah, just do the surgery." So just to convince her, what happened? He gave her anesthetic, and also he operated her. And then when she was okay, then he said, "Okay, yes, you were right. You had some frogs, and we took all the frogs out now." And then she said, "Yes, yes, now I'm feeling so comfortable." And she went back home. And after next week, she came back, and she said, "No, no, but doctor, I got the frogs again." He said, "No, but I already took all the frogs out." She said, "No, because what happened? That frogs, they laid eggs." So now there are more frogs are coming. So imagine, like, this is the condition of our mind. Whatever we want to think, that's what we want to believe. Whatever we think, okay, this is right, so that is right for you. So in this example, I was laughing as well, like, how people, they can think like that. But again, this is our condition. We always think like that. In Bhagavatam, it is also mentioned that, and there was a question that why did I suffer whole life? And there is a beautiful verse. It is said that Nayam jano me sukh dukh hetur na devatma graha karma kala mana param karanam amanti samsari chakram pravate yat. So it is said that mostly people, they say, what is the reason? So he said, the Brahmana said in this verse that these people are not because of my happiness. Like, people are not because of my happiness, nor demigods, uh, Devatma, na Devatma. Demigods are not the problem. Then he say, my karma, my own karmas, no. My own body, no. All the planets, no. My past work, Karnam Amanti, my past work, no. Kala, time, no. So he said, what is the reason then? He said, my own mind is the reason. He said, it is the mind alone that causes happiness and distress into our life. So in this material life, the main cause is our mind. Is there any solution to control this mind? And I was hearing in one of the lecture, one of the Maharaj, he said, yes, you can, if you follow the 5 principles, if you develop all those 5 principles in your life, he said there are 5 pillars, then you can control your mind. So what is the first pillar? He said tapa. Tapa means austerity. Like we do a little bit austerity here and there. What is actually voluntary austerity we do fasting on Ekadashi. That is austerity as well. So what is the main idea actually? Why we do fasting? I was thinking like, because the tongue is actually, it's a tongue is a sense, and it's a very strongest sense. And how to control tongue? If if you check your tongue, it's always constantly moving. You can't control your tongue. But when you do fasting, at least on that day, you don't give the food or water, then it can control a little bit. It's a true actually. So it is very hard to control sense. As soon as we feel, you know, um, like if we feel heat, we just switch on the fan. If we feel cold, we just switch on the heater. If we are hungry, we just go to the fridge or eat something. Or when and if we can't control all these senses, then what happens? Our mind becomes very weak. And if you give time to mind, then you are gone. So maybe we have seen, some people, they go to Kumbh Mela or any other, the saints or the priests, what they do, there are so many yogis, what they do tapasya, they do austerity. What they do, they stand on one leg for, maybe 7 days, or maybe they were saying in Kumbh Mela, people they just stand for 1 month, whole month on one leg without moving. So what is the point of doing all this if they can't control their mind? You know, but they can control little bit their senses. But if they slowly, if they can control their senses, they can control their mind as well. So similarly, for all of us, everything is very hard in this material world. Like studying is very hard. Business is, if we are working is very hard. Business, if you're doing business is very hard. It is very hard to discipline the mind actually. I was thinking it's very hard to uh, discipline our mind. But what we can do, if we transfer our things to spiritual culture, like if we do everything for Krishna, then slowly, if we do austerities for Krishna, then slowly, maybe we can change our mind to Krishna consciousness. Then another second point, Maharaj said, it's goodness. What is goodness? Like, we know there are 3 modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Or everything happens in all these 3 modes. We can convert everything into goodness, everything into passion, and everything into ignorance. It depends on us what we want. Suppose how we can make sattva guna, our mind into sattva gun or in a goodness, like by making nice food. We can make nice food, we can make bad food as well. So again, mind is constructive, mind is destructive. Destructive mind will say us, okay, I want to eat chicken. Constructive mind will say, oh, no, I want to make prashadam, which I can offer to Krishna and I can eat. So similarly, we can watch different movies. We can watch movies or we can watch Ramayan. We can go to clubbing or we can go to Friday program. We can do Bhagavatam or we can go for anywhere into the fair or wherever into the clubbing, wherever you want to go. So it's all depends on us. We can make everything into goodness. So if we will try to make everything into goodness, what will happen? All the bad habits will go. When we do everything, if we want to try to do everything in goodness, the bad habits will go. And we have to do a little bit hard labor for that one. That's true. But again, it's not impossible. The third thing Maharaj said, knowledge. What knowledge means? Knowledge is very important for all of us. Like we are all lack of knowledge. That's why we are in this material world, because we don't have knowledge. Because of our desires, we got this destination. We are here now in this material world. But when we come into the association of devotees, or if we go to temple, or when we do, when we study our scriptures, then we get some knowledge here and there. And then we do our devotion service nicely. Next point, Maharaj said, seva. What seva means? Service. Service is very important. If we want to make progress in devotion service, what we have to do, because with this service we get purification and we get different path to move forward. Seva can be in different form. We all know that we can go to temple, we can do home program at our place, that is seva, making prasadam, offering prasadam, doing programs. Everything comes into seva. So when we keep ourselves busy doing seva, then what will happen? Our mind will be get engaged and we will feel happiness. That is very, very important. Next point, Maharaj said, prayers. Prayers means by doing prayers, we can control our mind. We can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We can chant Mahamantra, we can sing Kirtan, we can sing Vaishnav bhajans. We should make a routine. Actually, Maharaj was saying, make a routine that every day early morning, if we are doing our routine, whatever the prayers we are doing, extra we should sing something. Just go in front of Krishna and just sing Tulsi Aarti or Nasim prayers or any Vaishnav bhajans. Or if you don't know anything, just go and sing Hare Krishna Mahamantra in front of your deities. That's what Maharaj said. So how we can say that now, the question comes, how we can say that mind is our friend. So when the mind is telling us, or we can say that if mind is encouraging us to do the good things, then mind is our friend. If mind is helping us to support our goals, that's mind is our friend. If mind is telling us to stay calm under any condition, that's mind is our friend. Then another thing, if we have always positive thoughts, yes, mind is our friend. And another thing, he said that how you can say that mind is your enemy. So if we are always fearful, like Duryodhan. Duryodhan was always fearful. He was always fearful that Pandavas will win the war. So because he has uncontrolled mind. Similarly, when we are in fear, it means we can't control our mind. And always, we people are always stuck in past. Okay, that person has done this to me. We are always thinking about that when we are angry, and at the end maybe someone has come and they have said, okay, sorry, but still, because of our ego problem or because of our mind, uncontrolled mind, we can't forgive anyone. So this is all examples that we have uncontrolled mind. We can't control our mind. But Maharaj was saying in one of the lectures that our life is just like an accounting. In accounting, what we do credit some balance and debit some balance. So what we are doing, actually, we are debiting and crediting, and at the end, the balance left. And what happens when that balance left, what we do for the next year, we carry forward that balance. Similarly, what activities we are doing here in this life, we are debiting and crediting with other people. And when we are carrying forward the balance into the next year, it means we are actually making our next birth again. We are just planning, okay, we will get next birth again. So we should be very careful. When I was listening this one from Maharaj, I said, oh my God, it means we are creating another birth for ourselves when we are not forgiving anyone. That's a very, very important thing. It means we have to come back again into this material world because of that person whom we haven't forgiven. That is very, very important. I was thinking, oh my God, what we are doing, we don't know. So as a devotees, this is happening. So imagine, those people, if they are not devotee, what they would be doing. And another thing Maharaj said, how we can make this mind as a friend. First thing he said, we should be disciplined. Small daily habits, we can change, waking up early morning, doing our japa, and staying to the association of devotees. Then we do start meditation, or meditation means you just chant Krishna's round 16 rounds. If you're not doing one, at least just do one round. Maharaj said just give your 7 minutes to Krishna. From 24 hours, just give 7 minutes to Krishna. You can control your mind. You should have a healthy lifestyle, like, nice food offered to Krishna, then eat, sleep on time, wake up on time, up on time, and do your routine nicely. Then Maharaj said also read Prabhupada books. So when you read Prabhupada books, your mind will be controlled here and there. Actually, we are not helpless, but we need some time to train our mind. That is very, very important. We have to train our mind that whatever we are feeding to our mind will do for it. That is sure. You know, like it's just like a computer. What happens in the computer? There is a hard drive. In hard drives, what we do, we just save the things into hard drive. Similarly, in our mind, we are just saving the things, or just saving the good ideas, bad ideas, everything we are just saving, and one day it will blast. you know like you have so much here in our mind, like it's hard to control. We are sitting here but thinking other people. Bhisham Pitama, he said in his prayers, but he said, Iti mati roop kalpita vitrishna bhagavati satvat pungave viguni ससुखमुपगते क्वचिद् विहर्तुं प्रकृतिमुपयशयद्भवा प्रभावा. He was when he was lying on that bed of arrows, he said that I want to invest my thinking, willing, and feeling into you, Krishna. So he said, before I was all these things, my thinking, feeling, and willing was into different occupational things, like into material world. But now what I want to do, I want to use all my thinking, feeling, and willing into you. So it is our choice now, it is our choice now. Our mind can lift us or can pull us down. So it is our choice now. So how we can do, like Krishna does not tell us to fight with the world and you just win the war and just win the mind. No, he tells us you just control your mind, because this is our inner war. It's not a Kurukshetra war. You just go and do it. No. So how we can now, how we can do, how more we can control our mind? Krishna is saying that elevate yourself, like, by thinking good things about other people, good things about discipline, and leave all the toxic things out. Don't worry about toxic things. What we should do, every hour we should ask our mind, and where are you now? And bring it back to you. But how we can do that one? Suppose you are at work, you just after every half an hour, you just say once Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You can bring your mind back. Refresh your mind. Close your eyes at work or at home and just remember Krishna. Like these small things we can make. Maharaj said, you just do 10 minutes scripture reading. Avoid junk food. 20 minutes walking, 20 minutes chanting, just one round. Or main thing Maharaj said, just do silence practice, because we speak a lot. At least we should speak, we should silence for 5 minutes daily, at least 5 minutes. And, Kesha Swami Maharaj, he was saying that we have to disconnect ourselves to connect with Supreme Personality. He said, like, from 1 year, at least we should have 1 month. And from 1 month, we should have at least 1 week. And from 1 week, at least we should have 1 day. And in that 1 day, at least we should have 1 hour to connect to Supreme Personality of Godhead. I like this thing very much. Like, it's a very good thing. Like in 1 hour, if we take 1 hour only for Krishna and just think about Krishna, or not only just chanting, I'm saying extra after chanting, you just go and sit with Krishna and you can control your mind. So all these things, if we will do slowly, then what will happen? Then we can grow in Krishna consciousness. That is very important. And because mind is our tool and mind is always with us. So the battlefield of Kurukshetra is in ourselves, and the real battle is our mind and how we can win that mind. So thank you everyone for joining, and Sorry if I have said anything wrong. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. बहुत प्रेमानंद है। Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Murli, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you very much for the class. A wonderful class. We'll maybe stop the recording now.
Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.